Nothing feels free. Not your groceries, not your rent, not even your paycheck. Yet somehow the global economy keeps spinning. Jobs get paid, houses get built, stocks rise and fall. All around you, life moves forward like clockwork. But here's the catch. Almost everything is powered by something you can't see, touch, or control. Something that quietly shapes the prices you pay, the money you earn, and the world's financial stability. Debt. Yes, the very thing most people fear or resent, the pile of money they owe, is the engine behind the entire global economy, and it has been for decades. Right now, you probably think of debt as a personal problem, credit cards, mortgages, student loans. But in reality, debt is much bigger. It's not just your problem, it's the world's problem, or more accurately, the world's fuel. Here's how it works. Start with money itself. Most people imagine currency as something printed by governments, bills rolling off a press, coins clinking into circulation. That's only a fraction of reality. The majority of money in the modern economy doesn't exist physically. It's created digitally, through debt. When a bank issues a mortgage, it doesn't transfer someone else's savings into your account. It simply writes numbers into a ledger. New money appears, instantly, digitally. A home is bought, a construction crew gets paid, the economy moves. Multiply that by millions of mortgages, corporate loans, business credit lines, and government bonds, and you have trillions of new dollars, euros, yen, and pounds circulating every year. Debt doesn't just fund purchases, it creates money, and that's where it gets interesting. The more debt is issued, the more money exists, and the more money exists relative to goods and services, the higher the prices. That's why in a system built on debt, credit expansion isn't optional, it's necessary. Without new debt, the system slows, growth falters, markets wobble. Now think bigger. Corporations borrow to expand, innovate, and hire. Governments borrow to fund infrastructure, social programs, or bailouts during crises. Even countries borrow from one another, often in foreign currencies. Every layer of debt fuels activity at the next layer, creating a network of obligations that keeps the entire global system alive. Interest rates act as the speed dial for this machine. When rates are low, borrowing is cheap, credit flows freely, companies launch new projects, investors chase higher returns, houses get bought, stocks climb, money circulates faster. Everyone benefits, or at least those who already own assets. When rates rise, the opposite happens. Borrowing slows, debt servicing costs increase, projects stall, asset prices wobble, growth cools. The same machine that pumped up wealth now contracts it. Tiny adjustments in rates by central banks ripple through the entire world. Trillions of dollars react, markets fluctuate, lives change. This is why so much of the world's economy feels fragile, because it's built on a delicate balance. Debt expansion must continue indefinitely, or the engine sputters. Too little borrowing and economies tip toward recession. Too much, and inflation and asset bubbles explode. It's ironic, really. Debt is simultaneously fuel and danger. It powers prosperity, but it also sets the stage for crises. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, it wasn't because people stopped borrowing, it was because the system's debts became unstable, layered like dominoes stacked too high. Mortgages turned toxic, banks faltered, markets collapsed. Governments and central banks had to step in with massive injections of liquidity, essentially creating new debt to fix old debt. The same pattern repeated during the pandemic. Overnight, trillions in stimulus created new purchasing power. Asset prices surged, wealth inequality widened, inflation followed. Again, the system required debt to survive, but every injection carried hidden consequences, tightening the constraints for the next crisis. Even everyday life is affected. When debt expands, prices rise. When debt contracts, jobs are lost and paychecks shrink in real terms. Your rent, groceries, and utility bills aren't random. They reflect the invisible movement of credit across the globe. And here's where most people get confused. This isn't some secret cabal of bankers pulling levers in a hidden room. It's mechanical, systemic. The rules of modern finance, credit, and interest rates create the outcomes. No one villain, no conspiracy, just a complex machine running on debt and leverage. The global reach is staggering. The US dollar sits at the center of international trade and finance. When US interest rates rise, capital flows toward American assets, weakening other currencies. Countries with dollar-denominated debt suddenly face higher repayment costs. A single rate decision in Washington can destabilize housing in Toronto, startups in Bangalore, and government budgets in Argentina, all at once. Debt is everywhere. It's invisible, yet it decides the flow of money, the stability of markets, and ultimately, the price of your life. So what happens if the system reaches its limits? If the global appetite for debt falters or becomes unsustainable? Will it evolve, reset, or demand even more aggressive intervention? No one knows for sure. All we can see are the effects: rising prices, fluctuating markets, and the invisible pressure of obligations layered across individuals, corporations, and governments. Debt quietly fuels prosperity, but it also quietly limits it. It is the hidden engine of modern life, powering everything from your paycheck to the world's biggest markets. And yet we all live entirely in the output of the system, the prices, the wages, the costs, without ever seeing the input, the relentless creation, movement, and management of debt. The uncomfortable truth is simple: the global economy cannot function without it, and the consequences, when the balance shifts, are everywhere. So next time you swipe your card, sign a loan, or check a stock chart, ask yourself, how much of this world's movement is powered by unseen debt? And what happens if the fuel runs out? Because whether we notice it or not, debt is still running the show, and it quietly decides the price of everything.